Hi guys, welcome. I made a new ISO for ARISER. And ARISER is a combination, is a team working together. A guy who knows how ArcoLinux is built and another guy who knows how to install ArcoLinux. And together we've renamed it to ARISER. So the home of the Alice project is where Pico is making his code, right? pico.dev. And this code has been changed yesterday, and I've tested the new scripts today. And it was just a conflict there with Pipewire and Plasma. So that's working again. So I've made a new ISO, so you can download another ISO. The point is, of course, that you build it yourself. As usual, we give you all the knowledge to get things going. 1 hour ago, I've uploaded this, so let's see. Normally you get 4, 5, maybe 10, 12 of these links, but it needs to propagate around the world, so we'll have to wait 3 minutes left, so I can keep talking 3 minutes. That's no problem for me at all. Being a teacher, that's all we do, right? Talk. So one of the things that makes ARISER interesting is that it's pure Arch. It has no repos but the repos of Arch, and if we want, we can build the packages from AWAR on the fly on basically an ArcoLinux ISO with a folder called Alice, right? And we run a script, and the scripts can be done in advance. I mean, the configuration of the script, we do it online on a GitHub. And then it becomes an unattended, automated, pre-configured, and that's the selling point, right? You just pop in your USB and you type ALIS, enter, done. You walk away, and 2 minutes. There was a record somewhere. I've shown it somewhere. There's how fast you can actually download it. It can be not downloaded, but installed. It's great. It's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Depending on your servers, the speed you pay for at home, of course, and your PC and all that, but it's great. There's only one thing I've added here. Remember to let pacman init service finish before installing, so you know about the keys, obviously, if you're in ArcoLinux, and there is something on the ISO from arcolinux.org to initialize the keys of pacman, and that's this thing. So basically, wait a bit, in my case I have to change the keys to Azerty, from QWERTY to Azerty, right? In the meantime, probably if I talk long enough, it will be finished, and then you can install things, right? So, because it needs the databases and the GPG files and all that. So there you go. In the meantime, I have 30 seconds still to fill. So the idea is, well, have a look. You can download it, but the point is, as usual, we give you the possibility, the power to install all that. But here it is in less than 4 minutes, and that was our record, 129 seconds. So a super fast installation. Now the point is that we give you all the possibilities and all the knowledge to how to make your scripts, how to build your ISO. It's all explained, and these are just desktop images, right? The things you can do. So want to build your own ARISER ISO instead of what I'm showing you now, then you do this, you do that, and of course this one is from us. You need to have your own GitHub with your own configuration, because if you run mine, it will be Lithium, XFCE, and X4 and stuff like that. So I've made decisions, they're in the script, and that's what makes it so interesting, right? It's unattended, automated, pre-configured. Once it's done, it's done. And then you build your ISO, and all you need to do is pop it in again. In only 11 articles here, you see all the info you need. Voila. I can keep talking, right? So ARISER, do I have one? I have one. And then we go to cancel. We go here, choose a disk file, Eric downloads. Lots of stuff. Let's see. The one from today, that's the one, because everything is called ArcoLinux, right? But because it's the official ArcoLinux ISO, right? But just that extra folder, well, 2 folders. There's also the development folder, dev. So Alice is the one you need. Dev is when we play and test. Pico and I see that everything works. And if everything works, then it moves from dev to Alice. This is, it should be similar, right? Should be familiar, that's the word, familiar. You should think, oh, I've seen this. Now, I keep talking because I know the pacman init service is doing its job. We don't see it, but in the backend, he's actually asking, hey, come on, initialize and populate and all that. So, fine. We wait. In the meantime, I have to type anyway, load keys, BE Latin 1. It's not really necessary because I know where my A is, because that's it. Alice. How technical can it be? This is it. Or if I want to test something out, it's gonna be Alice dev, and that's it. Off you go. And I've made some text, and let us install Arch. Wait long enough so that pacman init service is finished. Check with systemctl status pacman init. Do you want to get the latest GitHub? Yes, we say. It's always an interesting thing. And but everything was already up to date. Already up to date, it says here. Making all sh files executable, chmod plus x, and it starts running Alice sh. So this is the automated bit. You want to continue, yes or no? So yes, and it's off, and it does this thing. No is, well, let's have a look. So cd Alice, everything is green now. This is the latest code from the GitHub. So this ISO can be 2 years old. Git pull. You've got the newest, latest Alice and the old ArcoLinux packages, because it's an ISO from 1 year ago, right? And then you run it. Well, all the things that are not green are configurations. Do you see? So if you want to go ahead and change some stuff, you go first to the configuration and you have a look at the website of Pico, so on GitHub, and see what it all means. But the point is that these lines, these extra lines, should be enough to figure out what actually is going on. And it helps, of course, if you've done already ArcoLinux installations. Then you know, okay, I need my keys, BE Latin 1, and so on and so on. Right, so we're gonna trim the device, so it's systemctl and then trim timer. That's it. And you can choose auto for device or tell them what device exactly. But let's just you wait. Keep auto is always a good thing to do. Best tip ever is one change at a time, right? Otherwise you won't know what's going on if it goes wrong. So X4 is here. We can have something else. XFS can be tested. Let's have a look. So not this guy. This seems to be a problem at this point in time. F2FS, XFS. And you go down, swap sizes and all that. Things you can do, really technical things in there. But I'm gonna go for the repos of Sweden. So hoping to have Osbeck here. And the kernels, well, we could get another kernel if we wanted to. It's there. The Linux kernel is fine. Parubin is going to be installed. You can have only one of them, so single. And Parubin is just fine. It's binary, it's fast installed, so that's good. And lots of stuff, technical stuff, which I don't use myself, but just you Google and read up there what it's for. Time zone is Brussels. So this is why you need to have your own GitHub, right? These are my settings. These are my settings. You have to change so many things. And here again, the BE Latin 1 and the font for TTY, I believe it is, fonts. And then, of course, my password is Eric, of course, and so on. Username Eric. And all these things are choices. Now, the systemd, no, what I wanted to say something else. The grub is is now default because this machine VirtualBox is biased. So it has a will be grubbed. That's the point. Refined is for UEFI and systemd is for UEFI. You can't use it on biased systems. Bash is there, and here we are, right? So I decided to have something else. There is GNOME, there is Mate, there is Cinnamon, LXD, i3, Gaps, Deepin, Budgie, BSP, WM. Oh yeah, why not have Deepin? Well, Deepin has been sick in the last 5 years. Many times we had hiccups or sickness or fever or whatever you want to call it. So something was off, right? Something minor, something bigger. And let's do PipeWire as well. True, that was an issue with Plasma. Let's test it out with Deepin. And when I built Deepin in now just a few weeks ago, everything was fine. So that's the end of middle of October of 2022. Everything was fine, right? It all depends of all these updates that the guys of Arch give. And I always answer if there are issues, guys, go and install, download, well, Deepin from the official website and use that one, right? If you're really into Deepin, why not go to the original one rather than getting it on some other distro? So voila, that's the thing. Basically, I could now walk away and it's doing its job, right? But changing all these things in the fly is okay, right? For a test, that's great. But if you want to have your own ISO, you better make your own GitHub with your own settings. And then you push to the GitHub and you pull back on the ISO. And so you don't need to build an ISO every time. That's the power, right? You just load it up, git pull ls, your settings, your Deepin, for example, here. And then that's that. You've got your ISO lying around and it's your thing. You can add so many more packages to it, and AOR, so the Paru, it will build anything from AOR. You'll see it later on. You can change the file system, the systemd is there. I mean, there are so many possibilities, so many freedom there that if to, well, no. Yes, I was thinking if you want to compare it, there is this Arch install script that we now have from ArcoLinux, right? But this goes beyond that. This goes further. You can install software from AOR, and that's a little bit more advanced, in so to speak. I don't think we can, but I'll check it out. Arch install again later if we can add things there. But that's the thing, right? Unattended. Arch install, I still have to go and type, although there was something in that regard that we can save stuff, we can save a configuration somehow. Yeah, right, you compare and you decide what's best for you, as simple as that, as usual. It's freedom, it's a choice. And I do like the approach from Pico, having this one way of doing things. And if you want to learn about bash scripting, you can have a lot to read in his GitHub, this Alice project, and think, okay, that might be a good idea for my own scripts, right? Where PipeWire was just passed quickly through here. Git is now there, and here's Paru bin. So we're gonna first go for Paru. And anything I wanted later, which is Sublime Text 4, is coming from AOR, and Inksy is coming from AOR. It's gonna be cloned into bare repository, home, eric.cache, etc. So it's gonna be built on the fly in the machine. And it's as long as you want it, right? Or will you activate repos and go for sudo pacman -s later after reboot? So this took 3 minutes and 17 seconds, and it's automated to reboot, or I can press R to reboot now. And then of course the ISO, the ArcoLinux ISO, is there. I say no. it's installed, boot existing OS. So if you pop it out from the VirtualBox, it's not gonna show, but now it is. This is the normal look, and this is also the normal look. I don't think I ever made an installation of deepin in video, I mean then, for ARISER. And there you go. This is what we call, with this sick feeling, this thing is loading. I have to be patient, right? I have to be patient. Am I a patient guy? Normally, yes, right? So this is it. Everything is working, but you have to wait for the system icons to load up. Yeah, there's not much to see. It's just a desktop. And of course a NeoFetch to show off. NeoFetch. Yes, we're on Arch, right? By the way. So there you go. We have only 784 packages. Pacman is here. This is the amount of memory that I'm using to have all this. These are the buttons we have to log out. It looks a little bit better. It used to be a little bit ugly. And things like that, so some of the things are a bit off, but that's okay. If you like it, that's fine. It's your choice. There's this dark thing in icon theme. We have some themes that we can choose. A cursor theme, the breeze snow, okay, fine. Dock, the size of the dock, go for it. So whatever is available, test it out, see if you like it. That's the freedom, right? Choose your desktop, see what you like, basically. You want to look at all day. Voila, another ARISER video, how to get things going. I recommend you make GitHubs, but that's up to you. How much time do you have? You want to learn stuff, right? The tutorials are online. All right, cheers.